Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Hope we're well. Hope we're all enjoying our Thursday day. I am, other than the fact that it's absolutely hammering it down outside. It's a good day. Anytime you are speaking the day after a Spurs victory, it's a good day. That's a simple way to think about it. Nice to be positive, you know what I mean? So guys, yeah, well, this is the post-match review of the Spurs Marseille game. We'll talk. I'm going to talk a little bit about my thoughts and feelings about the game as a whole. Talk about some instances within the game and then sort of give my thoughts and feelings about the team and who played well and who didn't and the ratings and all that jazz. But guys, let me know in the comment section below and let me know what you think about the game, who played well, who didn't. I will have a Man City preview out before the game, so don't worry about that. We'll talk a little bit about who I expect, who maybe played in the midweek to play at the weekend, or vice versa, who isn't going to be playing. So let's jump straight in. So Spurs 2, Marseille 0. Looks a good result on the face of things. I don't think anyone in the Spurs stratosphere can sit there and say the first half was a good performance. The first half was shocking, to say the least. No shots on target, which is just unheard of, especially at home. Marseille were much the better team. I don't think Marseille created the most amazing chances whatsoever, but what I would say is with them, they did actually pin us back a bit. We couldn't get out as well. And you know what? They were much better team in the first half. They looked like the home team and they looked like they were up for it. You know, Tavares was getting forward quite a bit. Rongier and Guendouzi were controlling the football quite a lot in the midfield. And Gerson up front was getting a lot of the second balls that were getting knocked down to him. Klaus was getting forward on the right wing back position. And ironically, we barely ever tested the centre-backs. I know Eric Bailly was playing, but we barely tested him. And normally what we try and do is try and get Kane rolling their centre-half. So the fact we didn't, it was alarming to say the least. I mean, Jermaine Genius on commentary kept saying, it's there if Spurs have got the quality. And we did right at the end of the first half. And we ended up creating a chance. Yes, we didn't hit the target from that chance, but it was a good quality chance. So, yeah, first half was poor. I don't really think anyone played all that well, if I'm honest. Perisic barely got on the ball. Emerson defensively looked solid, but didn't really offer anything going forward. Romero got beat a couple of times. Dyer was making rash challenges. Longley was making rash challenges. Bentancur and Højbjerg were getting on the ball, but weren't progressing the ball forward. And the front three were rubbish, to be honest. They were not getting on the ball. They weren't doing anything. They might beat one player but lose it straight after. Evidence via Son and Richarlison, and Kane really didn't get on the ball at all. So yeah, not the best. Now, the reason this game opened up and we ended up winning the game 2-0 and the second half 2-0 is obviously Chancellor Mbemba got sent off for the tackle made on Son after he got put through. Yeah, it was a sending off. It's unfortunate. Son looked like Son actually gave him a few yards of distance and caught that up, and he was about to run right by him. That was probably Son's best moment. So you could call it a sort of mini assist, I guess, in a way. And it was Son looked up for it, to be fair. He was lively. He was running around. He wasn't moping. Sometimes you see him. Sometimes he's moping because he feels like he's so out of form. And anyone will always talk about in football. If you're out of form and you're not playing well, make yourself a nuisance, run around loads, win the ball back. Yes, you may not score goals and create assists and all that, but work hard. Don't become a passenger in the game. And he did that. There's times where he gave the ball away, and yes, it wasn't great, but you know what? Sometimes when you have him on there, even though he's not playing well, the opposition will always, drift a little bit that way to kind of give the right back a bit of help, because Son is obviously world class. It may be the coming out parties this weekend against City. Like I've always said, Son plays well against City. He scores goals against City. And maybe this weekend is the game that sort of launches him into the team again to start scoring goals and start being, along with Harry, our best player. So, yeah, like I said, I'll come back to player ratings in a minute. I'll go through them one by one. But yeah, that sort of opened up the game. And then from there, we dominated more of the ball. We started to create more chances. Perisic is just if you can give him space and he can whip a ball in, he's outrageous. You can see why he was the top in terms of goals and assists through the Serie A last year. You can tell. He's got a wand of a left foot and a wand of a right foot. He puts in beautiful balls. The first ball into Richarlison is, look, yeah, he probably could put a bit of pace on it. But if I'm honest, I think it's perfect. It was perfect. It was a good header from Richarlison, but the ball was sublime. That opened up the team a little bit more. It was interesting to see Tanganga and Davies come on. Davies nearly mucked it up and gave away a goal, which wasn't great to see. Perisic there clearing and saving his backside. But it was nice to see those two come on. Kulusevski came on and added a real dimension of, forward running, really. There was a lot of side to side and backwards, and that's why Marseille kept on pressing us. But Decky would get the ball and just run by him and just run straight past him. Tavares couldn't handle him. And Tavares I think this season he had three goals in 6 games. He was one of Marseille's best players this season. He looked quite average in the second half whatsoever. Never got forward. I don't think he had a great game full stop. But yeah, Kulusevski again gave him a torrid time. So yeah, and then obviously the main man, Richie. What can I say? Absolute great second half from him. He'd ran the most of any Spurs player in the team as well. I think it was just over 12 kilometres. Scoring 2 goals. First goal, obviously, being that header from Perisic. But do you know what? The second header is also just brilliant. Marseille complain about a push, but you're not going to get them given. You've got to man up and strengthen up at the back, So, fantastic from Richarlison. And, first game, 2 goals. Everyone talks about Haaland with 25 and 20. He's got 2 and 1. Look at the ratio on that. So anyway, yeah, it was a good second half performance. We can say that. Now, what I would say is it shouldn't take us playing against 10 men to get going. And that's the only worry. If we turn up and play like that against City, we would get knocked for 6. Okay, so we're going to need to really shore up. We're going to have to play well. And we're going to have to really get on the ball more. And to be fair, they do allow space, City. They do. And they have been got at this season in terms of conceding goals. And Kane, last time we played City, Kane played probably his best game of his career. Dominated that game from start to finish, was easily the best player on the pitch, and it wasn't even close. He's going to need a game like that again. Son, Richarlison and Kulusevski, who's going to play out of the 3 of them, they're going to need big games. They're going to need to be able to use the ball well. What I would say is, like I said, I'm not going to say who's going to start and who's not going to start. I'm going to wait for that Man City preview so you can see what I think. But yeah, overall, pretty good. Now, just sort of going through a few of the stats before I go through the team. Marseille still had more possession though. So 51 to our 49. I think it was a matter of like 12 passes, something like that. It's not the be all and end all, but they definitely dominated the first half with possession and how they were getting forward. They created 9 opportunities, only had 1 on target. So again, we're not really affording a lot of teams to have a shot on target, which is nice. That's a common theme through this season. I've always talked about it. Will allow you to shoot from 30 odd yards because we'll have Højbjerg and Bentancur and Decky and Richarlison and Son all getting in the way. And Højbjerg seems to get in the way of absolutely every single shot I ever see. It's ridiculous. But to have 1 shot from the 9, which I think was actually a long shot anyway, which Lloris made a comfortable save. So all in all, they had a lot of possession, but didn't create a lot of great opportunities. They caused some problems, but I wouldn't say create great opportunities. Spurs had 18 shots and only had 2 on target, so that's not good enough. With the same ratio as them of 1 in 9, we're going to need to be better than that against City, I can promise you that. If we're going to have, let's say we had 9 shots against City, we're going to need 4 of them on target. We're going to need to be a lot better than that if we're going to have a chance. Because you know what? Whoever really keeps City to no goals at home, we're going to need to score. We're going to need to probably score 1 or 2 for sure to have a chance. So, yeah, not great there. Now, looking at the team, and I'm going to go through player by player and sort of my thoughts and feelings about, the team as a whole and, who played well and maybe who didn't play too well. So if we start obviously in goal, we've got Hugo in goal. Made that obviously 1 save. Didn't really have any distribution problems. Did have that 1 problem where the ball it'd gone up high. There's no one around. He punches it for no reason. So he looked a little bit nervous there. But overall, I couldn't sit there and I couldn't slag him off. I'd give him a 6. Like I said, 6 is the average. I'm giving him a 6. he wasn't a problem. Let's just say that. Romero's a 6 for me. Didn't have his greatest game. I think, only just come out from injury. Maybe lost a little bit of rhythm. Got beat a couple of times. Was all right on the ball, to be fair, but got caught out of position a few times as well. So I'd probably say a 6. Dyer. I'd probably say Dyer 6.5. Was good with the ball. Not an issue there, but was reckless in the challenge. Got himself booked as well. So, yeah, I'd probably say 6.5. I'd say he's better than Romero. Longley 6.5 as well. Good with the ball, not a problem there. Reckless sometimes with his challenges, but overall wasn't a concern with him. Didn't look like we were gonna concede because of him or anything like that. Same with Dyer. So yeah, probably say 6.5 for Longley. Emerson solid defensively, and the thing is with Emerson, you'll always say the same thing. Solid defensively, doesn't really offer anything going forward, and I'd say it's the same thing. So if Emerson, I go 6. Just, if he was 10% better going forward, we'd be a much better team. It's scary. Bentancur, actually says 7 because he did make a lot of challenges. He did hold onto the ball fairly well. He worked hard, got forward well. Defensively was solid. I'd probably say 7. I'd say Højbjerg a 7 as well. Højbjerg, he's having a great season so far, really is. I think Bentancur is our best midfielder, but Højbjerg's been the best midfielder this season. Very, very solid. Blocks a lot of things, gets on the ball well. Bit of a leader in the team now, you can tell. All the players kind of noticed that as well, which is nice. So I'd probably say 7. Perisic, 7. Made some good clearances. When he did get on the ball, he used it quite well. Wasn't really ever caught out of position. Made some good interceptions. And he obviously got the assist. So yeah, definitely a 7 for Perisic. Richarlison, 2 goals. I mean, it's a 9 for me. It's a 9. He worked so hard. Was good in the second half. He looks like he's pretty decent in the air. And I always thought he was half decent in a way where he wins a few headers in there, but actually looks quite good. He looks like he's got a bit of a leap on him. So yeah, definitely a 9. 2 goals, man of the match, Champions League debut. Yeah, you can't really ask much more from him. He's fantastic. Son got himself booked. Gave away the ball a little bit. I'd have to say 5 again for Son. He worked hard, but working hard is not the be all and end all. You can't lose the ball as much as he did. You can't get himself booking from dissent, I think it was. I mean, the ref was... I'll come to him in a minute. But yeah, he got himself booked from dissent. And Kane was quiet. Kane, I'd probably say 6, maybe 6.5. He was quiet. When on the ball was good. He was a bit wasteful with chances, and he was shooting from angles where he could have passed it into a player in space for a better opportunity. But he wasn't a problem. The service up to him wasn't great, if I'm honest. So yeah, I'd probably say 6, maybe 6.5. And finally, I'll just touch on the referee. The referee was an absolute moron. He looked like the game was about me. This is all the 60-odd thousand fans have come for. This is why they've come for. It's me. Dude's an idiot. Dude is an idiot for sure. Stupid bookings. Allowed Marseille to get away with bookings and things like that. Other than the sending off, he was a bit shocking, if I'm honest. Simple as that. But yeah, he was good for a little while. And then, like Jermaine Gina said, just lost control of the game. So you could be good, but then as soon as you lose control of the game, you've not had a good game. You're not a good referee in that game for sure. So there we are, guys. 2-0. Marseille at home. Off to 3 points. That's great. Lisbon, obviously, I knew, beat Frankfurt away from home. That was a really good result for them. Obviously, there's still some work to do. We've got City next, and I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. It's the real test of the Spurs squad. But anyway, guys, that is the end of the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, share it with your mates. But let me know about the game. Let me know what you think about the game. Let me know what you wish we did better, what you think we did really well of. But anyway, guys, that is the end of the video, and I will see you all very, very soon. Take care, lads.